How much yield can we get with just the NEXAT if we start out with a field that is basically as low as it can go? Now, I've set this field to the lowest fertilizer rate, everything. It's as low as it can go. It needs lime, it needs rolling, and it's got weeds growing. So it's definitely not that great of a field to use, and it needs a lot of work, right? Okay, so this was an oat field that I did for another test, and then I came in and kind of reset it and set all the values to as low as they could be. And I believe, yeah, that's as low as it can go. So what we're going to do is we're going to use only NEXAT tools, and we're going to plant and fertilize, or cultivate, plant, fertilize in one. So that'll be our first row. And then we'll come back and let it grow, and there should be weeds. So we'll go ahead and take care of the weeds, and then we'll fertilize one more time. And that'll be just with this equipment. So we won't have any lime, because we do, yeah, so we won't have any lime. And that's a pretty good bit there. Liming is 15%. We're not plowing, so that's 15%. Mulching is 2.5%, and rolling is 2.5%. So that's 35% that we're not going to be able to get if my math is mathing correctly. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started, and let's plant it. So we'll go ahead and plant we'll go ahead and plant canola. I guess we can do canola. Yeah, we'll do canola. So we'll go ahead and plant canola in this field and see what we can get for our yield bonus. Okay? All right, let's go ahead and get to work. First thing we want to do is go ahead and hop in the NEXAT carrier machine here. Turn it on. And then line up for our seeder cultivator combo. I feel like I could have went forward just a little more. Yeah, it's not quite perfectly lined up. Now I could use the slurry to plant, or sorry, to fertilize and cultivate, but I'm gonna do the cultivate seed and then fertilize with the sprayer. And I've already got this filled up, so it's ready to go. All we have to do is connect everything. Now, you can leave that connected, but I've been having issues when you go back to reconnect to it, so it's best to disconnect everything before you park it. Okay, so we've got our canola here, and we'll go ahead and get started. So we want to turn everything on, and yeah, and then lower it. Ah, that's so cool watching those animations. And then rock and roll. Let's see how straight I can get this without GPS. This thing is moving. Now I'm gonna leave the what do they call them? The partitions, the tire gaps between each row on this, because that's the way you're technically supposed to do it. So we'll reach the end of the row here, and then we'll lift it up. This thing is a little bit tricky to get turned around. Definitely takes a little getting used to. And if there's any objects, it can be quite the treat. Especially if you're right here in the trees. Oh, don't want to go too far. Don't. Stop going. Stop going backwards. Okay, let's go ahead and lower the machine. And we'll get her lined up. We want to leave just a little gap here. Yeah, so we'll go ahead and get this all planted and cultivated on the first round, and then we'll come back through and see what our levels are at, and then continue on from there. So lift it back up. My computer is definitely not happy with with all the stuff I've got it doing, so it's acting funny. Go ahead and lower it down and rock and roll. Get a little too close to the edge there. I should have came over just a hair more. I'm hoping that they come out with an update for GPS where you don't have to do headlands. That way this is more efficient for what it does. They did say that they do have updates coming for the game that'll help improve this machine. Okay, this time I'm going to stay out of the woods. Now this is definitely designed for larger fields than what I'm doing here. So that is something to kind of keep in mind as well. Oh boy. That's good. Lower it on down, and let's finish this field. Very curious what my stats are on the field now. About to find out. So once I finish this, we'll want to sleep till tomorrow, and then that way it's in the first growth state. We should be able to take care of weeds, hopefully. Okay, let's go ahead and bring that up. And that field is done. Is there enough room to sneak this through here? Looks like I'm going to just cut the field just a little bit. Not a big deal. Guess I could turn the cedar off. And let's go ahead and disconnect this front piece. Back it up just a hair. And then disconnect. Oh, nope. Push it forward a little bit. There we go. There it is. Gotta give it a little bit of space there. Okay. Now, let's see what the field stats are. And what are yield bonuses? Oh, yield bonus 57%, fertilize 50%. So we've already got a pretty good yield bonus there. We really want 100, but I don't think we're going to quite get that close, because we do, to get 100, you do need to lime, plow, mulch, and roll if it requires it, which this one says, doesn't say it needs plowing, but it does say it needs lime and rolling, so we should lose a good bit there. But, okay. Yeah, so I'm going to sleep till the next day and let the crop grow. Alright, here we are back in the next day, and we are at our first growth stage. And it looks like we don't have any weeds yet. I'm not sure why, because we should have weeds. Huh. Okay, well, let's go ahead and spray it and see what our yield bonus becomes after we spray it. How much we have here? 57%, 50% fertilized, so let's see how much we can bump that up. Go ahead and connect to our sprayer here. This should be a quick one, because I think we only need one pass, maybe? Let's see. I like how it automatically moves the cab out of the way on this one. Get in there. Now the auto connect works way better for this, but yeah. Now I wish we could move the cab to the back side, maybe? Oh, okay, that's just my poor driving. Okay, so we've got our liquid fertilizer here, and I'm going to go ahead and get lined up for this field. And it's got a pretty good span, so it should definitely cover the whole field. And I want to try my best to stick to one of these tracks that we have here. Let's see, I think we'll just go with this track set here, because that's how they do it in real life. So we want to kind of duplicate that, I guess. Yeah, I'm hoping, I really do hope that they update the GPS to where you can just do, where you don't have to do headlands. Okay, let's go ahead and unfold it. And I think this will cover the whole field and then some. Will it reach? Ah, not quite. So close though. Let's go ahead and raise it up and turn it on. There we go. I think it's pretty cool. It definitely gives a different task or objective to the whole farming aspect of things as far as Farm Sim 25 goes. So it's definitely something different. Which in 22 we did have a mod that was very similar to this. It's basically this, but not quite as just a little. It was off-brand. We'll just leave it at that. It was nice. So I'm not saying it wasn't nice, but oh, I thought I would have had enough room there. So I guess technically right here, we could just fold the vehicle up. Oh, wrong. You're wrong fold. There we go. Now, did it get the whole field? Gotta love how every time you go in the menu it saves. Fertilize. It did not get the whole field, so I'm gonna go over it one more time just to get that spot that we missed. Just go over one row and see if I can line it up real close there. Looks like the little tires is where you want to line it up at. Pretty darn close if you ask me. Alright, do we have enough room to unfold here? Oh, make sure we have the right tool selected. Back into the field a little bit. Go. Kick it on. Go. Rock and roll. I just gotta remember to turn the opposite way. The turning is definitely something to get used to on this. Yeah, I'm still not used to it. But one day I will be. Let's baby fold up and then we'll see how we did. Kind of curious why we didn't get weeds. Maybe I didn't set it up right. Could have sworn I set it up where weeds would grow, but who knows. Let's get this parked out of the way over here. And then check out what the field shows to be. Doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, so what is our yield bonus now? It is 80%. So not bad. So we were able to get to 80% without having to use any other tools. Now if weeds had grown, then we would have went over it with the hoe there, and it would have automatically took care of the weeds, and then we wouldn't have had to worry about that. Do weeds grow in canola? It's a pretty thick crop. That could be it too. I'm not really sure. I feel like they should grow in here though. Well, go ahead and give it a day and see if weeds pop up. All right. So we slept a few days and now our field is ready. Got my super speed here. And it's finally ready to harvest. And no weeds ended up showing up, but I guess in the scheme of things, once you've removed your weeds, then it would put you where you're at here. The only thing that I'm kind of questioning now is the plowing. Because obviously needs lime, needs rolling. Liming is 15%, rolling is 2.5%. And then you've got mulching, which is another 2.5%. And so that's where our 40% is going, is to those, I believe. Yeah, because plowing, okay, so plowing and liming, that's 30% combined, and then another 5%. So we're missing 5% somewhere. Interesting. Or no, hang on. My mathing is not mathing. Yeah, plowing's 15, liming's 15, mulching's 2.5, and rolling's 2.5. So we're missing 5% somewhere for something that I guess we missed or didn't do. Maybe the weed control part of it. But anyway, so you're not going to get 100% with just a NEXAT. Is basically what this boils down to. But you'll get around 80%. Now, had we limed and rolled and everything that's required to get 100%, then yeah, sure. But that would require other vehicles. But as far as just using only NEXAT, which is kind of pricey for having other equipment as well. But if you've got some rather large fields, sure. But the point of the NEXAT is to not have the other vehicles. So maybe they'll have some modules that'll do the liming and all that in the future. Now it is a whole new system, and the NEXAT folks are actively designing and creating new attachments for it. So it's not fully done. It probably won't ever truly be done, and I'm sure that we'll start seeing more add-ons and attachments for this DLC as they make them in real life. Because, yeah, according to the Farm Sim guys on their live stream the other day, NEXAT is still working on stuff, and this is kind of what they have so far, and there's a lot more to come. So maybe we'll see some liming technology and rolling and so on and so forth. That way we can stick within the rows here. So if we go to the map, we can see our little track lines. What did they call them? Partition lines? Track lines? Something like that. And that's where our wheels should be going each time. So we should always have that one, those missed spots where the wheels go. But yeah, I guess this field is not ideal for the NEXAT due to its width. Because the sprayer, I did have to go back another row. So basically the sprayer will cover 3 rows. So something to keep in mind there as you're buying fields for it. But I guess the bigger the fields, it doesn't really matter. Also make sure you got plenty of room to make your turnarounds at the end of the field, and that you don't have trees that are going to cause issues. Because the whole point is to turn around off the field and only do the crop work on the field. Okay, so yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think? Is this something that you're excited about, or you don't care? Tell us what you think in the comments. Also, what would you like to see added to the NEXAT system, and what would you do different? Hey, appreciate you watching, and have a good one.